So the Cromwell Masterplan is all about making sure that Cromwell's ready for the future. 30 years out, we don't know what Cromwell's going to look like. We know we've been through a whole lot of growth in the last 30 years and huge changes. And we're going to make sure that we're ready to deal with the growth that's here today and the growth that's going to come in 30 years' time. So the master plan is about just putting that together to try and determine what the community thinks it might look like and what it would like to see in terms of outcomes as we go forward. And then we have that framework in place that we can then say, let's look at what we need to change. Do we need to change the district plan? Do we need to be involved in new infrastructure, new community facilities, all that sort of thing, to make sure that we're ready for whatever that growth's going to bring.
If you look inside our application, we talk about a funnel. And at the very beginning was that first level of engagement. And we went to the community, we went to the real community, and we asked them, what are the problems you see with Cromwell? And what would you like to see? And also, while we were there, we actually pried into these individuals and said, well, do you have any bright ideas? So from all of that, we could build a big picture, a series of options that were related to public perception. Then we did all this work, did all this analysis, and we came back to the community again. And this time we had a series of options that they were actually able to communicate with us quite clearly about what their preferences were and what they liked and what they didn't like. That was the key piece of evidence that enabled us to move to the preferred solution, which we will go back out and communicate again. But if we go back and we actually look at the value that the community provided, and this is innovative, we could not make a decision about the preferred solution without that input from the community.
So the biggest single success in my view from our master plan process was the community engagement. And that was right at the start and right through to the end. So the community gave us a fair insight as to what they thought the important issues were going forward. And that meant that the team we had together doing all the donkey work as such was able to then bring that into a cohesive draft of the options that we're able to go back to the community with and saying, we think this is the sort of thing that you were talking about. These are how they might look like in the future. And we asked them to give us some feedback about that, which we got. And we got it in spades. The best thing about it was, again, the community engagement was significant. And especially when you think about it, in today's environment, people are almost over-consulted with. And they switch off, and we've suffered that for a long time. We don't get a lot of feedback on a lot of the stuff we do. Well, this time we got heaps, and that's the biggest single success, is that people got engaged and told us what they thought. And it makes our job a hell of a lot easier, and I think the outcomes are better for the community as a result.